Hello everybody! My name is Dizzy and welcome back to what we're all crossing our fingers is the final stream of the Tipathon shenanigans. It has been a heck of a journey. Let me see if I can transition over. Hello everyone. Here we are. This is me. This is me. I have had to trim the nails. I no longer have the lesbian fingernail cut because they were getting too long, and with all the heavy work that we were doing, heavy work, there was a definite danger of something snapping midstream and having to be fixed live on air, which we did not want. I'm here. I exist. You lot exist in the chat as well. We have Kingo. Welcome on in, Kingo. I hope you're having a lovely morning. We have a Bengbin as well. Love to see all the different wiggly wavy emotes. It's nice to see both of you as always. We are going to have some music. 10 hours of Celtic music, all by Adrian von Ziegler. I hope. I've clicked play and I'm not hearing any sound. That's because I've muted the tab. Why wouldn't I have muted the tab? What an obvious thing to do. Yes, my goodness. It is. People have been insane. If you look at the bar at the top, you see that number says 100. People have been crazy. People have been crazy generous. We've been digging up dinosaurs. If you've somehow not been here, but you're here now, we've been digging up dinosaurs. We started small. We started with little ones, digging around the little eggs. This was our very first one today, and then we had this one. And then we had a journey. We went to a bigger block with a block that was half done, thinking, oh well, that's going to be easy. Spoiler alert, it wasn't. So this is T-Rex. He's complete and he stands. With the help of some helpful pliers. I've got some pliers. I've been able to actually put things together and have them stay together. But we dug up this T-Rex from, as you can kind of see, he's quite stained pink. From a very pink rock that was started by a genuine 8-year-old me when I was that high, as tall as she is. That's how tall I was when I started this. And we dug it up. And then we progressed to another T-Rex in a plaster block that was a much easier block to dig up. And the T-Rex was... It's real frail, but it is now all together. We have put it together. It mostly stands up. Ish. The pose needs a little work, perhaps. I have convinced it to stand up before. I cannot currently convince it to stand up. We have another glow-in-the-dark T-Rex. And then last time we finished digging out a whole Stegosaurus, which fits together mostly well with the help of some pliers. King says, it's surprising you managed to bring your 8-year-old self to help out. They are inside of me somewhere at all times, presumably, because that's how biology works, I think. But yeah, we dug out the Stegosaurus, and before we go on to what we started last time and didn't finish last time, there is a slight detour because I took this Stegosaurus down and I popped it on the kitchen table so that fam could see what I've been up to. And when I came down the following day, I discovered that Stegosaurus had been joined by this Stegosaurus, which is, as you can see, almost identical in every respect, except it's about maybe 10% bigger in every dimension. Like it's like you've got like a nice top down view. It is very slightly bigger, which is crazy. And it turns out that this has been sat on my middle brother's shelf, who is not a particular digging up dinosaur paleontology person. He's an economist. But this has been sat on his shelves since he was about 8 years old. And it is the same model, but it's not the same molds because it's 10% bigger. So they obviously, at some point, this one's going to be the more recent one. This one's from 2016. At some point, they obviously used the same 3D file and made new molds that were slightly smaller. Chico says, that seems to aid a prank, replacing someone's one Stegosaurus with a version that's 10% bigger every week or so. But yes, that really took me by surprise, because he sort of mentioned, yeah, oh, I have a Stegosaurus that's kind of like that. And I have a Stegosaurus in my head that I was thinking of. I was like, no, it's not really that much like this one, but it is a Stegosaurus. But no, he has one that is really like this. And I had no idea. I went down and I found them grazing on the fallen petals from the flower that we had on our kitchen table. I thought that was so funny. I had to share that with you guys. Oh my goodness, yes, we fully dug out Stegosaurus. And then the last thing that we were up to is that you'll see at the top here, we have Dippy, the Diplodocus. Probably based on the actual Dippy, if I had to guess, because that is like the iconic Diplodocus skeleton. But maybe it's just sort of a general interpretation of the Diplodocus. We have most of Dippy out now. Yeah, we've got like a full spine, but not quite the full tail. We've got both ribs. We've got 2 feet. We've got 2 feet left. Probably some pelvis stuff going on as well, and then a tail end. So we made really good progress on that, and then somebody, naming no names, who was wonderful, got us to the next goal after that. So we have 1 full block still left to dig today after we finish digging. Here is half of it. Here is the other half. It is super duper warm today, and I can't have my windows open because there are people outside hammering in our garden, and it's very loud. And there are people outside either mowing or sawing something in somebody else's garden. It's very loud. And also, I have hay fever. I've taken my first antihistamine tablets of the year today. So there's many reasons why I can't really have the windows open. But it is warm. If I thought I'd get away with it, I might have ditched the shirt altogether. Oh my goodness! But we have tools. We have some relatively proper tools. Have I lost the spike? I may have lost the little spike. Oh, where's that gone? I need that. That's one of the most important tools. We have some relatively proper tools. We've got hammer, chisel, various different shapes of chisel. We have these from one of the actual kits that we're not going to use. We have this, which did come with this kit, and actually we are going to use because it's actually dead handy, as it turns out. Who would have thought? We have a brush for clearing little bits off. We have... Oh, there's the little spike. Little spike, very handy for just picking bits off. Big spike in case we need to do little spike things but bigger. We don't generally need this one, but we've got it. And yeah, that is, I think, where we're going to sort of get started, really. No time like the present, as they say. We've got bones visible in both of these. I think I'm going to start with this, because it's in front of me, and the other one isn't. Alright, it's all got to get done at some point. There have been some questions as to whether I should be wearing a face mask of some kind for this, and the answer is a firm maybe. I'm not currently because I don't want messing with the audio quality, basically. But if you have concerns in that regard, suffice to say that they have been raised with me before, and I think the risk is relatively small, because remember, this is the kind of stuff that they get 8-year-old kids to do. It is mostly harmless. We have a Shaska, welcome on in. Final day, it won't matter if I do a little tip. If you do a little tip, I mean, there is a question mark. After it's over, isn't it? If people are crazy and do another goal, we will try and get the other goal done today, but I don't want to overdo myself like I did last Saturday and end up with an achy back. So we will see if it does turn out to be the final day. But considering that the next goal, which is so I have this block. I have one block in there scheduled to do, and I have one more block that has not currently had a goal met for it. If the goal at the top of the screen is met, I have zero idea what any further goals beyond that could possibly be. Because we were not expecting to get this far. I'll be honest. Like I said yesterday, I was sort of not yesterday. I think I said last stream. I was sort of thinking that like 50 quid might be an ambitious target to set for folks to donate, and you'll have blown me out of the water. Tesco's final goal: dig up an actual fossil. Jessica says, how? How what? How dig up an actual fossil? How do you keep spelling final wrong? That's... I mean, there are things that I consistently mistype. The big offender is I consistently type a semicolon when I'm trying to type an apostrophe, because the keys are right next to each other, and for whatever reason my muscle memory between the two just got really messed up. And I cannot for the life of me type an apostrophe on command. I can only type semicolons. So at least you're in good company. Well, at least you're in my company. Shaskor. Final call, isolating the dino DNA and running off to build Jurassic Park. The thing is, I do have real fossils. I have lots of real fossils. But I don't really have the tools to do proper manual preparation on them. I don't really know if I have the skills to do proper manual preparation on them, because I've not done very much prep on real life fossils in my life. I guess there's some kind of easy wins, because I have several fossils. I have several rocks that came out of what gets called a coprolite bed, that is exposed kind of near the Severn Bridge, near the River Severn, that kind of area. And theoretically, those should be easy preps, because those are chemical fossil preps. You just dunk the rock in weak acetic acid and leave it for like 2 weeks. So like that's a fossil prep that I could do. It wouldn't make for very riveting content. But I mean, I could theoretically. I mean, if we got 50 more quid and then another goal on top of that, I don't know where I'd set the goal. But if we did, I could afford to go out and buy some acetic acid from wherever one buys acetic acid from. I could afford to go and do that with that money. And then what? I guess I'd put it in the acid on stream, and then have another little stream like at the end to see what bits had fallen out, or if I've totally destroyed it. One of the two. I guess. But like I said, that's not very riveting content, and the proper tools for doing this kind of thing on a real rock, because this is super soft. Like I can break this with my hands. I said to stream the other day that this has the consistency of meringue, basically. The proper tools for doing really fine precision work. It takes ages. It takes ages and ages and ages to do like proper precision fossil prep work. Like the length of time that we have done total of this Tipathon so far would probably be preparing like a small fossil. If it's a real fossil. But I don't have the required tools, and the required tools are hundreds of pounds. I'm not planning to set a goal for hundreds of pounds so I can buy I can't remember what they're called. I never remember what they're called. They're called like an air drill or something. They're basically what they are is the reason why I've got this little spike is because the real tool that I would be using, if I was doing this on a proper fossil, is a small spike, smaller than this, that just fires in and out. You know, at a relatively high rate, like a very, very tiny pneumatic jackhammer. Oh my goodness!
Take
Shaka's
my
here.
money in a different way.
Thank you so much for subbing, Shaka. For 21 months. That is a longer time. And it's nice to have you here in the chat as well. I know you're a sleepy bean, having literally just flown back from Croatia. But thank you so much. Oh my goodness. But yeah, so I genuinely don't know what another thing would be. Hypothetically. I will also say, like, I am very tired after a week of doing this. So I will not be sad at all to see the final goal be met and finished. Not the final goal be met and finished. To see the final unlocked goal be finished, and to get some rest. You will not catch me. Ow! Oh, the plastic on this wood in particular makes a horrible noise. But it is always lovely to have you beans here, and it is lovely to have people be generous like Shaka just was. Even in ways that are not being added to goal. Oof. Is this... There's something here. I'm not sure if this is part of this or not. That'd be a very long leg if it is. I guess it is. Okay. This leg is longer than I was expecting. Oh no, it's because it's got shoulder on it. That's why. I was seriously considering actually starting up the stream without the gold bar at the top. I could just do this. I need to remember that I can just do this to indicate the top of the screen. Because I'm like, well, it's up, so it's up there. But that's where the camera is. That's where you guys are. Hi. That's not where the gold bar is on your view. Oh, if that's the shoulder, then that's going to be going under this. I think. Oh, is this leggy thing here, like, through? In the gap between the shoulder girdle and the actual leg? That's going to be annoying and inconvenient if it is. I'm confident I can just sort of take this bit off here. Ah, this is a bit of tail, okay. So up at this end we've got the little dots that are going to slot in at the base there. And it's going to go some way off in this direction. If we're lucky, it might not go very far. You might end up taking out the tail and the foot as sort of some conjoined piece in the end. Shaskor says bee. You haven't got another bee coming through your window, have you, Shaskor? Do they just really love you? Bee flew in your window! Okay, instantly did you turn and flew out. You just have a very attractive window for bees specifically. Do you have plants in your room at all that are attracting them? Oh, Kingo's putting down the smooth moves. Oh, that's the other thing I'm not looking forward to as the weather warms up. It's going to be wasp season here. Like, I understand that wasps play a very important role in the ecosystem. And I understand that they're not here to hassle me or bother me. But they do hassle and bother me. Mostly by flying at my face and or other exposed parts of my skin when it's really warm in my room. There's one potted plant your mother gave me. 0 flowers might be dying. It's been completely ignored previously. Maybe they just haven't explored them. What kind of bee is it? Is it a honey bee? Is it a bumblebee? Is it a solitary bee? Is it a hive bee? What kind of bee? One year we had a leaf cutter bee, which is not what they're called, but I can't remember what they are called. We had a leaf cutter bee in our garden. It was very sad because Mother was sort of out, like, potting up some plants. Walked away from the bag of compost for 5 minutes, and in that time the bee had come and had laid a cell. They make a little cell out of leaves and put an egg in it and some goop for the larva to eat when it hatches. And had put that in the compost bag. And obviously it kind of had to be moved because the compost bag was being used. But you can see why the bee thought it was a good home, because like, oh, this nice sort of relatively enclosed protected space made of plastic. It's quite warm because it's full of compost. You know, a perfect place to raise a budding little bee, or a collection of budding little bees, potentially. Have we reached the end of the tail here? I think we might have. We have. Oh, that's out. Okay, excellent. That means it's not going to trouble the rest of the leg. Awesome sauce. I don't want to say awesome sauce anymore. Probably I'm the first person to use it in sort of a half century. We're not going to use the pliers now that I've got my hands dirty, because I did not actually, I did not ask for permission to take the pliers, so I don't want to give them back in any sort of a state. Actually, maybe that's a lie. Maybe we're gonna have to. I'll give them a clean afterwards. What way up? I guess that's only one way if you can be. Oh, these little holes really don't want to go. Yeah. Come on, guys. There we go. Tail is attached. That is a full spine from start to finish. Just because they've been moistened in all my folded cardboard boxes. Looking at she appears to be a common eastern bumblebee. I see. If they're looking at your boxes, maybe they're looking for nesting materials then. I don't know what bumblebees make their nests out of, but a lot of bee and wasp species will go for cardboard because it's nice and easy to sort of chew up and make a pulp of. Previously it's mostly been wasps. Ah, the swines. You have my condolences. Actually, kind of wouldn't mind wasps in the way, as long as they're willing to eat all the little flies. Because one of the plant composts that made up one of the potted plants on my windowsill just spawned a bajillion squillion flies one year, and they've been impossible to shift ever since. I only need to get like a carnivorous plant. We've actually, it's been bad because obviously we didn't just use it for one plant, that bag of compost. We used it for several, and so there are now several rooms in the house where Mother has just put up that horrible sticky fly paper. I don't really like it. It's not very pleasant stuff. But there's just been so many. Like the paper goes up and it is coated. Okay. Most of this shoulder is now exposed. Do a diggy under. This. There we go. I can do a diggy under here. Because as you all know from your biology classes, the leg is made up of 3 bones. And one of them down there is still a little bit enclosed. My shoulders are mostly exposed. How did you know? I'm hacking into your webcam, Shasko. I'm not. I should stress that in case people are watching. I wouldn't even know the first thing about how. I don't even know if Shasko has one, but most people do nowadays. You out? No, there's something holding you back somewhere. I'm not certain what it is. There we go. So I would keep a camera plugged in when I'm not actively using it. Do you really unplug it? If you even use it. Okay, that's right. If you never use it, then I can understand keeping it unplugged. But like if it's something you use regularly, and like you really go to all the effort to unplug it when you're not using it. I say that, actually my camera lives most of its life unplugged, but that's just because I don't have that many USB ports. I need to free them up. Okay, so this is going to go on the front, on the rib cage. These ones are a little bit awkward to get in, even with the pliers. There we go. Just toddle along the 2 legs. Now this really is an unusual chicken, an unusual duck. I'm not super certain, because there's no instructions, or I have no instructions, I should say. I'm not super certain which side of the hip this is. It's very nearly front-back symmetrical. So I'm going to have to wait until... I guess I was going to say I have to wait until I've got a leg unlocked, but I don't even know if the leg is going to give me that many clues. Okie doke. Right, one more hip here, and then I guess there's one more leg somewhere, presumably. Boop. Yeah, like it's obviously these go together. Like that, but which way round? This hole seems a lot smaller. So maybe this is the hole for this? This is also, I don't know if that's just really badly like molded, but it's got like a bit on the end of the join there. It says I keep my camera plugged in, it's totally leaned against my desk. Another acceptable strategy. I think this goes in here, and I think this is the right one. So I'm going to tentatively do that. Then I kind of just need to find a leg in here somewhere. I guess it's probably in here. This is the biggest bit. So therefore the most likely to have something in it. Snap off what bits I can, in case that happens to expose something. I kind of figure if I dig through the weakest point, I might be able to kind of snap it open and reveal some bone. Is the kind of the plan. Ah! Oh, well I snapped it open. Hang on, what size? It could be in literally any of these bits. Okay, let's start with this one. I guess. There we go, okay. We got lucky. Oh, it was very close to the surface here. We nearly could have seen it. It's okay, Dippy, you're nearly free. Right, where's the not going to be? It's not going to be here. We can get rid of all of that. There we go. Oh, that was excellent. That exposed a whole lot. Oh, we've got a big crack. That's excellent. Ah, there we go, it just falls out. Okay, I think this is the whole dinosaur now. So put that on there. This one's much bigger. So I think I was right in my sort of assessment. It goes this way round. Then we need... Oh, could I have been wrong? I could have been wrong. I was wrong. Ah, I didn't realize that these notches are shaped very slightly, or well, yeah, they're shaped very slightly. So this one goes in here. There we are. Presumably this one then goes in there. Although they don't go... This is a bit of an ambitious join that they've put down here at the bottom. Shaska says, I'm looking at pictures of the Nordic Horizons DLC PO truck. There's a picture of 3 reindeers peacefully grazing right next to a road with 3 cars and a truck on it. No way they wouldn't long since have bolted from the sounds of the engines. Are they pretty skittish, then, reindeers? Because, like, deers in England, because they don't have any predators here, they will put up with the sound of cars and traffic. Yeah, this joint here, this joint is a very bad joint, but I don't think I can pliers it now anymore. Not with the fact that I've put the hip in place. Maybe. There we go. I think that is a finished Diplodocus. He even stands up. Oh, that's excellent. Oh, that's very pleasing. I need to mute for a sec because I need to sneeze. Boop. Shaska says, deer not equal to reindeer. Oh, I know. Deer is a very broad category now, but they are, you know, they're a similar niche ecologically. Okay, we're gonna do what I always do, which is kind of break through the big pieces just to make sure there's nothing left in them. But like I said, I believe that's a finished Diplodocus. Nothing in there. I could probably do this one with my hands. Nope, not. Just because they might put up with humans but not cars, I see. A major concern regarding wind turbines is they generally need to be put up in historic reindeer territory and the sound scares away the deer. Ah. Even though the fact building them will ruin the flora they live off. Will it? I'm quite surprised by that, because I wouldn't have... Like, wind turbines tend to be a very low impact thing on flora, I would have thought. You know, sure, birds will run into them and they're a big problem for doing that. And they do give off noise pollution and such things, which I can understand upsetting animals, but flora? Oh, I see, of course. Yeah, okay. Good. Okay, I'm fairly confident there's no parts left in here. I'm happy to say this is all discarded material. We do not need any of this. Excellent. So it's time for us to move on to the final block. The last block. Never more shall we block after we have blocked this block. Owie. Oh, it's very stuck in the box. There we go. You just about read maybe a number 4. Maybe you can't read it. But it is number 4. Once again, I'm not super sure what's going to be in here. can see we've got a starting bit of bone there, so that's where we're going to start from. We've got another bit of bone there, sticking through. But I like starting on the corner because it means we can kind of work our way progressively down the thing. Yeah, I guess leave your guesses as to what this is going to be as we go along. This looks like a rattlesnake rattle. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm a little bit snuffly after the old sneeze. Sneezeroonies. I apologise. Jessica says there's a massive scandal a couple of years ago where some wind turbines were built in reindeer territory. This violated the law regarding the Sami people's cultural rights. The government was taken to court. The court decided the construction of the wind turbines were illegal, and then nothing was done about it. Oh dear. I mean, I can understand being loath to take down sustainable infrastructure that you've managed to put in place, but you know, those rights and those rules exist for a reason. And those people have been putting up with being a little bit trodden on for a while. What the hell is this? Oh, is this the top of a... Okay, this is going to be the top of a leg bone, perhaps? With an attachment piece going off this way? This is going to be a huge bone if it is. Dippy was kind of quite nice in a way, because most of the bits of Dippy were quite small. The protests amongst you, not sure if anything changed except a bunch of Sami protesters being arrested. Of course they were. Whoops. Oh wow, that went... I don't know where that piece went, that went flying. Oh, that's gonna be a problem. That's gonna be shedding little bits of plaster all over my bed or something, probably. Oh dear. I guess this wood is kind of rubbing off and staining on this. There's a big dark streak on it now. I don't love that. Not that there's anything I can do about it. Working out the side, we've plated off some big pieces, exposed quite a lot of the length of this. There's second bone is down here. Well, second, not second bone, but like, well, it is a second bone, but like, it's part of the same piece, if that makes sense. Social reindeer still recovering from overhunting. Simon is trying to take care of them. Do not meddle with the reindeer. Fair. Just remind me, out of idle curiosity, were you around for Hunter stream yesterday? You're not, why does the government stop looking for you while we purpose all those oil rigs that have windmills? Did I kill reindeer? We did, yes. One of the we killed reindeer, but also one of the goals was to harvest a moose or a reindeer in a certain area. And when we missed the shot on the reindeer, the person who's our the one voiced character for that map laughed at us. And then she laughed at us again when we missed a shot. We didn't miss a shot on the moose. There was a moose that wasn't in the area, but we spotted it while we were in the area. So she reacted as though we'd spotted the moose in the area. And then when we moved so far that it had moved out of range distance, she laughed at us again. Which was very rude of her. I'm slightly traumatized by this Russian lady bullying me. Oh, we found another bit. Found another part. I was just breaking down here because I'd exposed all of along the line. I think this is going to be a jaw, possibly a beak. It looks quite beaky. I guess from the big leg that we were probably doing a herbivore. But that's definitely a very herbivore looking mouth. Half of the mouth. Right, here's a toesy. Luckily, this has been just about the kind of ideal habits for the bone inside the rock. It's all been close to the surface, parallel to the surface. It hasn't, apart from these toes, really gone very deep into the rock. This is exactly what I want. There's this gunk up there. I need to brush it out. Ow! 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 It's not sharp, but I still hit myself with it. Ow. Ow. Oh shit, I am bleeding. Fuck. Right, I'm gonna be right back. Give me a sec. Ow. Alrighty ho, everyone. Apologies. For the brief interlude. We are black. We are black. We are back. Just because there's this for the blood god. That yes, that is the summary. We have done ourselves a minor mischief. Through not being careful. Hi, we're here. Oh, cameras. Camera is blue. Camera is blue and the wrong way up. Silly camera. I am okay. There was blood. It wasn't like bad particularly. Right, I'm still the wrong way up. We're not blue. That's why we never muck about with our tools. Yeah, basically, even the ones that aren't sharp can hurt you. Alright. There we go. There we go. So yeah, we are wrapped up. It was not much blood. It has bruised slightly. It's not like I've done serious damage to the nail or anything. Because it's in an awkward spot. In addition to the actual bandage, there's sellotape holding it together. But yeah, don't do that. Basically, don't cut towards you. Never cut towards you. But we're good and we're ready to go on. I'm actually gonna have a drink first before I dirty my hands. Are they feeling a little disgraced? I'm not feeling any disgraced. Let's adjust the angle of that if we can. If it'll let us. Oh dear, oh dear. No, it was foolish. I was being hasty. Getting ready for this Easter? When is Easter? Actually, a much more important holiday than Easter. Is it first episode of Doctor Who, isn't it? So I saw that the r/Doctor Who subreddit had a post up for the first episode of the new series. Is that today? It does sting a little bit. This evening. Oh well, that is exciting. Ow. Tis blood for our sins. I'm not Jesus. I'm not J is for Jesus. I nearly pronounced that the way I normally pronounce my name. That's something else. I'm not that either, I guess. Oh, I do find it dead funny when people call me like D. I was in Mia Byte's chat the other day. She does magic content among other things. She was no, I was in a game with Mia on her Discord, a tabletop sim magic game with Mia on her Discord. She was calling me D. It's just like, this is so silly. Yes, Easter is the 20th. Okay, Easter's a little bit away still. We've nearly got all his toesies out. This middle toe is a very big toesy. It must be said. Well, there's a phenomenal chonkin toe. We've bumped into a bit of another bone there. So we've got this jaw to get out afterwards, and we've got that to get out as well. So we're not going to be poking aimlessly in the dark. Just says Palm Sunday is tomorrow. Ah, okay, that's where we are in the calendar, is it? What else? Am I Gazus? I don't think I'm Gazus either. I don't know what being Gazus would entail, but I don't think I'm ready for the responsibilities of the role. I think you'll be really weirded out if I started preaching even gay gospel live on stream. Because yeah, I won't lie. Like, it's been something that's kind of occurred to me. It's like I have some semblance of people skills from Twitch now. You know, I can talk to people. I have strong theological opinions. I enjoy knowing people and helping people. If only I could find a denomination that actually matched up with anything that I believe in, I probably wouldn't be too bad at like churching nonsense. We have the trans rights. Welcome on in. How's it going? No goop redeemed because it's a dizzy hand stream and I'm covered in plaster. I don't want to be covered in both plaster and goop. You have just missed me doing myself an injury because I'm clever like that. I hope you're having a lovely morning. But yeah, I have been moisturized with blood. Not loads of blood, but a little bit of blood. I don't think the blood was caught on camera. If it was, I don't know if YouTube or Twitch will have a problem with that, but they might do. So I will have to go and double check before I put this out on the old VOD channel. Calm yourself. I was thinking actually when I came back, it's like, oh, I can never go on a Yogg's cooking stream now because I've Lydia'd myself. This is a big jaw. Big jaw, big head. What dinos have a big head? Ceratopsians. So I think this is a Triceratops jaw, maybe? Perhaps? So there's a quick motion in your hands off screen while you said ow, ow, ow. That's right, they were mostly in my mouth, to be honest. Well, not in my mouth, because they were plastery, but once I'd wiped them off, they were in my mouth. It says 8 AM BST this morning. I'm assuming this because of Disney nonsense. Yeah, so Disney has decided that episodes must premiere at midnight rather than premiering on primetime television. Which everybody is a little bit upset about. They said that they weren't going to do it this season, and obviously they have, I guess. If it happened at 8 AM. Yeah, if it is being shown on terrestrial television, I'll probably be watching it on terrestrial television when it is shown, rather than watching it online. There's not many things that we watch that as they are broadcast in this household nowadays, but Doctor Who is definitely one of them. Oh no, there's something here. Something here right next to the jaw that's going to make getting the jaw out annoying. What are you? What are you and where do you live? For real, so much watching pals. They also air on the evening of release. You get almost 12 hours to try and dodge spoilers. I see. It could be worse. I have no idea what this is. These could be more toes. These could be rib bones. These could be neural spines. There's two rows. 2 rows of stuff. Is that just 2 bones next to each other? Or is that one thing with 2 rows? The hell has 2 rows? I think it's 2 bones next to each other. I guess a shoulder blade over a rib cage maybe could look like this. Perhaps. marathon the last 2 episodes all night before watching the premiere in the morning, I guess. If you really hate yourself. I am less fussed by when the episode comes out than I am by the quality and number of the episodes. You know, like they got Disney money for Doctor Who, and they decided to use that to massively up the special effects budget, which was never Doctor Who's strong point in the first place. Instead of pumping out more episodes, which is what people really want. People want more interesting stories, and they want more episodes. They don't want 6 episodes of overproduced Disney slop. Because if we wanted 6 episodes of overproduced Disney slop, there's umpteen different Disney slop series that we could be doing. I say Disney slop, really it's Netflix slop. But Disney is also a very bad culprit. Maybe the leading culprit nowadays with things like Hawkeye and Mando and all sorts of stuff like that. This is definitely some sort of a frill. So this is probably the top jaw of a ceratopsian. It says the Marvel shows have already done a number for that model. You'd think, but they haven't stopped making them. Yeah, like Doctor Who fans have always been fine with things looking a little bit low budget CG. And they haven't traditionally looked bad, even for being low budget CG. You know, something like Tooth and Claw, like, you know, the way they limited the CG budget for that was they had the werewolf in as few shots as possible, and honestly, it looks really dynamic and action packed because of that budget constraints decision, and it looks a lot better than, let's say, Space Babies. Even though the enemy in Space Babies is not CG, it is a practical effect. It still looks kinda bad. There are other problems with Space Babies, but and you know, a series can afford to have a few Space Babies in it if it's a 13 or even better, a 26 episode season. Then you won't mind that a few of them are a little bit duds, because there'll be some good stuff in there. But when you've got an 8 episode season and 1/8 of your season is Space Babies, it feels real bad. The situation of these bones together is really awkward, because it's just awkward whenever you have like a concave shape. Because I can't go in this side because I'll smack into this, and I can't go in from this side because I'll smack into that. So this is a foot up against the inside of this crest. The good news is I may be able to get the jaw out without tangling with these too much. But it is only a may. There's something else on the other side of the jaw as well. It says, when you've got special effects, CG or practical, part of the power can be in not showing it as much as showing it. It can. Okay, we've now reached the point where the jaw is touching this leg bone. Don't know how we're going to extricate the two of them. Don't know if we're going to be able to extricate the two of them, honestly. God, this is a mess. All of the bones on top of each other. It's such a mess. On the plus side, we'll have like half of the pieces at least found very, very early on. Just says also they're not unionized. Public from the city studios basically have to bid for jobs. They're put under insane time limits. Yeah. Yeah, it is a real problem. And it's not really a problem that we can sort of solve from this side of the pond. Yeah, the US's, because it's mostly the US's, although not for the EU, but the US's war on unions. It has knock-on effects here because it means that our unionized ones can't necessarily compete. Even if we have them. I don't know if we do have unionized CG workers, but even if we did, they can't compete with American ununionized ones. Pick your own Hollywood. Sherwood. I mean, the UK has big film studios. They just still kind of mostly pump out garbage. I think it's wild as well that, like, you know, Disney can make however many million or billion off of stuff like Moana, which is going to hold up to the test of time so well. You know, people in 20 years' time will be looking at Moana and thinking it looks nice. They might be thinking, oh, this is the pinnacle of animation technology. They'll be looking and thinking, this looks nice. But people will be looking at whatever the most recent Marvel movie is in 20 years' time, thinking, God, that CGI looks terrible. Actually, also on the subject, I think I maybe mentioned this yesterday on stream, on the subject of terrible CGI, and what people will think of in 20 years' time, the new Walking with Dinosaurs that's coming out this year on the BBC, they've released the first trailer, and the CGI is... it's really bad. It is... the CGI... I looked at it and I was like, this looks so much worse than the original Walking with Dinosaurs, which came out in the year 2000, I think. You know, we've had 25 years and they've gone backwards in their special effects. I think it's just... It's atrocious. It's not shocking. It should be shocking, but it's atrocious. Oh my gosh, I can't remove any material from this damn block without finding another bone! It's the opposite of a problem for a real paleontologist. Surely this can't be part of the same film. Surely not. That can't all be one bit, can it? That's huge. No, it's not. Okay. I was a bit worried there for a second. King says, "Problem. We set up a filming company in Shellers. All the films are Robin Hood's." So there's a bunch of shoots take place in the UK, but shoots are by American companies. That is probably true. Yeah. The next Avengers movie is shooting in the UK. Is it? I have been paying so little attention to what's going on in the MCU anymore. What even is the next Avengers movie? Is it Secret War, or have they done that one? Secret War, which as far as I can tell from the premise, was like, we've introduced the Skrulls as a bait and switch, not really villain, in Captain Marvel. What if we switched the bait and switch so that they were actually villains? That's what it seems to be. Doomsday is next, then Secret Wars. Okay. I have no idea what the hell's going to happen in Doomsday. I know there's supposed to be a Kang the Conqueror plotline at some point, unless that's already happened. Which I am so switched off from. I really could not care less about all the multiverse nonsense going on right now. I think it's also it's especially noticeable when another Marvel franchise, Spider-Man, has been doing multiverse stuff and has managed to keep me interested and entertained by it. And then there's the actual MCU doing multiverse stuff, and it's like, oh, okay. If you're sure. I'd rather you didn't. Not anymore. Doomsday was going to be the Kang dynasty. The actor got arrested! Wow. That's... What did he do? That is kind of dark music. I mean, they recast Thanos. I don't see why they couldn't recast Kang. Unless the filming was sort of too far along. It is not a laugh-worthy crime. I see, oh dear. I did see that they'd recast Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom, which I have no idea how they're planning to make that work. I guess if there is multiverse stuff happening, maybe alternate universe Tony Stark is Doctor Doom? Like I could see that happening from an in-universe point of view, even though to my knowledge that's not a Marvel Comics thing. But I mean, there's so many Marvel Comics things that it could be. Okay, I think what we've got is we've got one crest in two halves. This is in the original Ultimate Universe, the early MCU was built around actually had a Kang variant who was Sue Storm, the Invisible Woman. Oh, interesting. Sue Storm decides to time travel because her brother died is a great concept. Huh. This is such a nightmare. This tangle of bones here. I don't know what we're gonna do. I don't know what we're gonna do about it. Got to the point where I need to start taking material off this way again. I'm trying not to run into anything else that'll get in the way and make this more complicated, but you never know. what's going on here? I think so. I'm confident this is a Triceratops now. This is going to be presumably an eye. I'm not sure how whatever this is going to move past this. I don't know if it's going under it or over it, or if it's just going to kind of curve around and bump nose to nose with the beak of the top jaw. It says there's always they can do a Doomstart thing, none of them are good. You think? I think we absolutely could do it well, but I don't care that much about either Iron Man or Doctor Doom from like a lore perspective. I don't think they will do it well, but I think you could do it. As it says, I think recasting OJ makes it look like Marvel isn't realizing what's causing people to lose interest in the Foundling. I think that is definitely true. That is definitely evident. Something's wrong, they don't know what it is, so they're going back to the stuff that did well the first time around, without much understanding of why. I do think it is incredible how, like, when you're an exec at Disney or something, you'd think that over time you would kind of start to pick up on why certain things happened, and yet they never do. They never learn. They never have any idea what's going on. It's an impressive commitment to ignorance about the thing you're supposed to be doing. Kinga says we've had 2 exclusively techie Dooms recently. Letting Doom to be close to the start really undermines all the character of Doom. Is there does Doom do things that aren't techie? I thought he was an evil inventor. To match the fact that Reed Richards is a not evil genius / inventor. Penguin says Doom is the goddamn Wonder Kid, Magic Boy, invented by Political Boy. I see, okay. It says Doom blew up his face because he built a portal to hell to rescue his mother. Interesting. He has it all and he's right. I don't think, because he is like the leader of a small country, isn't he? Presumably a fictional small country. So she embraces the chaos of the Marvel Universe and tries to adapt humanity to it. I see. Latveria is the most prosperous nation outside of Wakanda and Attilan. I don't know what Attilan is. I only know what Wakanda is because I watched the Black Panther movies. And maybe Civil War, if Wakanda was mentioned in Civil War. It probably was. Says what they should do is let people have a break, then come back in a few years. Kevin doesn't allow breaks. Instead, they're forced to run the property into the ground instead of letting themselves use it again later. Yep, pretty much. Which is again, like Spider-Verse did that. Spider-Verse. I mean, I think they were still working on the next film, but like there was a long time between Spider-Verse releases, and then people, to my knowledge, loved the second one, and the second one was a good film. So it obviously can be done, even when you're dealing with big IPs in today's modern media hellscape. He says Doom is the kind of man who sees a world he rules as utopia, finds out all that he needs to do to achieve utopia is admit that Reed is smarter than him and refuses. And still believes he's the kind of man who should rule the world. I see. I mean, that does kind of sound like somebody who could be an alternative as Tony Stark. You know who else it could be? It could be an alternate universe Justin Hammer. Is it Justin Hammer? The Hammer Tech guy. Is his name Justin? Yeah. He's the kind of character who's always correct but never right. I see. That's a good description, actually. Always correct, never right. Oh, there's the problem with the Triceratops skull is it's a big piece. I mean, that is kind of their main selling point, is the big head. And now this head is now butting up against another part, which is a spine. Says they think they've successfully ported the mass production of comics method to movies, just want to keep on pushing movies to short deadlines and see what sticks. Chesko also asks, do you think T-Rexes were very egotistical? I don't think that I would say they were, purely because I don't think we can apply the human concept of egotism to non-sapient animals in general. Like, I wouldn't necessarily call a dog egotistical. Or a fox. So why would I call a T-Rex egotistical? I don't think they're capable of that. There's another bloody bone there as well. Oh my goodness. Kingo says, I do appreciate that they're doing team-up crossover style movies without realizing the reason crossovers work in comics, which is that the crossovers between books already exist. Is that why team-ups work in comics? Having never been much of a comics person myself, I could not tell you what the ins and outs are. Ah, there. Got a bug in my face. There. Get out of here, bug. My face is not for you. Oh my gosh, what is this thing? Is it going to stop getting this skull out? We might be lucky. This horn might just about go around with the bonuses. Kingo says, you don't have to worry about if crossover event spends enough time on Moon Knight, because the Moon Knight book that ties into the event will spend enough time on him. Is that how they did comic book crossovers? Like there'd be one main thing and then each one would have their own related book? Oh my god, are you kidding me? I found another bone! Another bone on top of the horn! I'm not sure I'm going to have more than one bone of this Triceratops out by the time we go for lunch at 3. Because they're just all on top of each other. I think this actually might be part of this skull, perhaps. This could be the other horn. It's in about the right place. It says the events certainly these days tend to be like, here's one world under Doom. The next 3 to 6 issues of every book will probably tie into it in some way. We've got several dedicated books for the event. I see, okay. Because I guess I had perhaps naively sort of assumed that team-up events in comics worked the way the team-up events work in things like the MCU, where like everyone has their own story that kind of precedes the event once they've planned it. But then the actual event is contained wholly inside the special event issue or issues or volume or what have you. And everyone just kind of goes back to doing their own thing. This is definitely the horn for this crest. We've got a real tangle of things here. This is a horrible nightmare. A horrible nightmare of jumbled bones. Maybe there should have been a Halloween Tipathon event instead of an affiliate anniversary Tipathon event. Kingo says in Blood Hunt, a recent vampire event that largely took place in the Avengers books, Miles Morales got turned into a vampire in his own book. Moon Knight came back to life so Khonshu could send him out to kick vampire behind. Okay. I see. Those are changes to status quo those characters that were reflected in the books, took place in those books, but tied into the event. I see, I understand. I found another bone. Can't believe there's more bones on top of each other here. How am I ever going to get any of them out? Ever? I'm increasingly of the opinion that while the other blocks have been Stegosaurus bones in a block of plaster, this is actually some plaster in a block of Triceratops bones. Like the dragon dimension in Terry Pratchett, if you look at all the spaces between dragons, you start to find out that the spaces are actually also dragons. I've also lost my brush. Oh, that's a spoiler if Shaka's listening. Shaka, don't listen to this. Shaka, don't watch the VOD until after you finish Guards. Yes, his movies don't work that way. Ironically, I think the Arrowverse pulled it off better. I know nothing about the Arrowverse. Actually, while we're on the subject of Disney and Netflix kind of slot series, you know what was a good Marvel series? Was Cloak and Dagger. I really liked that. I wouldn't have mind seeing. I don't necessarily want more of that. But I wouldn't have mind seeing more that was like that. Agents of Shield actually was a really good one as well. I really enjoyed watching Agents of Shield. I like Monster of the Week stuff. I like my long series with some episodes that are kind of just there to be episodes. The good news is that this bit here is just more of this half of the skull. The bad news is there's this on top of whatever's going on as well. Okay, so what I think we've got going on is the front beak of this half of the skull is going to go into about sort of here-ish. Maybe not quite that far, there-ish. And then there's going to be this bit here, going to go up and over and meet up with it. And there's a fenestra here in the middle, kind of on the nose. Yes, there's individual episodes or issues that tie into a single overarching narrative, but each relatively independent. That sounds almost like a comic series. It does, doesn't it, King Girl? Now you mention it. Yeah, actually, I think that's kind of one of the biggest problems I have with the Disney slot, Netflix slot kind of show, is that they're trying to be a 6-hour movie, when that's not really what a show is about, and each episode is kind of pointless on its own. And that's why I don't want Doctor Who to be. And to be fair, although the new series was short, or the last series was short, the episodes did at least mostly stand alone. In fact, they almost entirely stood alone, apart from the two-parter, which you're allowed a two-parter. Flux as well was kind of trying to be like a Disney Slop style thing, with the 6 episodes that all couldn't stand alone. Flux was terrible for other reasons, but that didn't help. It's a super slop, yep. I wonder if that's also one of the reasons why the 6th Doctor wasn't popular, because of the Trial of a Time Lord serial, or set of serials. I've not seen all of Trial of a Time Lord, I've only seen like the first part of the first story, I think, of Trial of a Time Lord, maybe the first 2 parts. And obviously we didn't have the terms Netflix slop back then, or Disney slop. We didn't have the term Netflix back then. But I wonder if it was the same problem. Because my understanding is on the flip side that the Key to Time sort of meta-narrative was quite popular, wasn't it? Again, I've not really seen it. What the hell is this that we found here? I don't know what I'm looking at. Again, this is a problem with plastic bones.